Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Wolf, and in today's video, we're doing another LEGO progress update showcase video, or something like that. Basically, progress that I've been making so far in the showcases. Since I haven't done any one of these videos since I did, and it's before the Tom and Jerry one, I figured we can go ahead and do another update on some of the stuff that I've done, especially since I haven't really been posting that very many showcases since Tom and Jerry, and that's mostly because number one, I'm working on as many as I can to lead up for the 150th, and number two, trying to figure out which showcases I want to do beforehand. But I figured we could go ahead and show some of the progress that I've done. So first and foremost, we have the Ragnarok project. As I've talked about before, we've already finished up with all the minifigures. So we have all of them like in the tiny boxes over here. As over here, you can kind of see here and there. I'm not going to give a full and detailed look into them because I do want to save them all for the showcases, but just showing them that just for now, you can kind of see they are all complete, nicely packaged away, and ready to go. You can set those aside. And then let's look at the display overall, because now that the figures are done, we're going to move on to the next hardest part, which is basically constructing the display that I have here. So you can kind of see here with some of the work that I got over here is it's sort of like the foundation work that I got, and then I got this blue part over here that I'm using as kind of like the lake, because the scene that I'm trying to replicate is Midgard that's here. I have this little tapestry over here that I got from the GOWR box, and essentially what I'm trying to do is replicate this. I did have the original idea of trying to replicate all of Yggdrasil, but I couldn't figure out like how big I would have to put this whole thing into there, how to construct the tree to hold all the realms and everything. So to save the headache, I settled down for just doing Midgard, since it's an iconic location and worked pretty well, especially for adding stuff like Jormungandr and whatnot. So I'm trying to take this and translate it over here into this. Now, so some of the stuff that I've been doing so far, like as I said before, like I got this floor work. I like to do sort of a mix, like with some of the displays of doing a mix between Lego and real life stuff. So I've used this cardstock board as sort of like this is sort of the base. I'm planning on like covering it over with like maybe some sort of like fuzzy fabric to represent like the snow. No, over here would be like the lake for where like the minifigures would be put on here. I am planning on putting on like some sort of base, sort of like clay sealant into this. And this is sort of hold this down because this is being held up by electric tape, but it's not very good. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some more stuff to give it some more like reinforcements. Back here, I have started a little bit on a mock build. I got the Tyr's Temple over here. Like it's not super drastic, but for the scale size, it does pretty well. To just give the overall representation for it. And it's actually almost done. I think I just need to do a couple more stuff here and there, like put a helmet on this thing, maybe add in some clay around this, and then give it a good paint job, and then it should be good to go. Like again, it's not super drastic, but it does do the good job of representation. And then over here, I did get like some of these model pine trees that I felt were pretty cool, and I got this tiny little house that's supposed to represent like the cabin. Again, it's not something super drastic, but for a small display like this, it does do a good job. I might sand out a couple of stuff here and there and then give it a paint job. It should be good. And then the main piece that I'm going to be having, and as you saw a little bit, it's with Jormungandr. So over here, this is the head that I'm using for Jormungandr. It's a spare Lego Ninjago dragon head that I got a while back. And essentially what I've done already so far, as you can see, basically I sanded out all the teeth that I initially had, sculpted on my own, added in sort of the sides to make the jaw blend in a little bit together, and modified it a little bit. I have like this tape covered on with the eyes to make it easier to like when I go in and paint it. I can remove it and then like do some of the detail work on the eyes to make it easier on myself here and there. And another bit that I'm doing is that. I got this chain going on, with some of these Lego connector pieces. So one of the difficulties that I've been having with this is that in order to make this thing, just like on the tapestry piece, it shows that there's like mountains around with Midgard and then like Jormungandr wrapping around. That's essentially what I'm trying to replicate. However, it's been an extremely difficult part because number one, I haven't even gotten started on the mountains yet. I've I'm jumping back and forth between like either trying to just build the mountains like with just a bunch of random bricks and then calling it good, or to like try and make them of like styrofoam or something. But one of the challenging parts of it is figuring out like how big I need the mountains to be, because zooming out a little bit, you can kind of see like the overall shape of the box. And with the box, like it's plenty big, but I want to make sure that there's enough room like throughout the sides of the display, and the mountains be tall enough to they're not like touching the ceiling, but plenty of room to basically take this thing and wrap it around, and that's been sort of a challenging part. So I'm hopping back and forth on how I want to proceed with that. And with a little bit of lighting here, as you can see, I actually got these cool like LED lights. That's they're pretty easy to get. I got these like off of Amazon, and they're pretty cool. That like they have like magnetic strips, and they hold on very, very good. They charge up pretty well, and have good lasting lights. And as you can see, it's plenty bright enough for me to display this whole thing, which I'm really glad for. And it will make it easier to like when I do actually do the showcase, because it is gonna come. It's just a very slow process. It'll make it easier to light up the showcase than trying to position a lamp in the box. So yeah, that's sort of the overall progress. I know it's not a whole lot. I will admit it's not a whole lot, but this is sort of a progress that I'm trying to not exactly like take my time with it, but also to really figure out artistically like how would I want this to go. And I am excited to see the final results for in the end. So don't worry, I'm working on it as best as I can, and I'm really excited for the overall final result of it. I think it's gonna be really good. And off a little final notes that I'm pretty sure that when I do finish the display, I'm gonna have to glue Jormungandr into there. So before I get to that point, I do plan to do sort of a bonus episode on just doing a showcase on just Jormungandr, just like doing the whole snake. I'll talk more about that in the future, but that is sort of like where we are at the moment. So overall, like I'd say minifigure wise, 100% done. Display wise, I'd give it about like a 30 or 40%, maybe a little lower, just because, like I said, there's still a couple more stuff for me to do, but I am excited for the final results once I get there. Now moving on, here's the progress that we have so far for Bendy and the Dark Revival. I know there's a lot less, but this one has been a bit trickier to come up with, like for these minifigures. So first off, right at the back, the only figure that I don't really have to do is Audrey, because as like this is still the same figure from Dark Revival, and since they didn't change it, the base of the figure, it still holds up pretty well to this day. So I'm still gonna keep up with this figure. The back, this is Beast Bendy. That I sort of revamped it to give it a new design and everything. And here we have a little bit of like the updated version on Bendy. Bendy is sort of like the new and improved version of him. I'm not gonna show him too much of it, Same thing with like Beast Bendy, like not show too much of it. Don't want to spoil it for the showcase, but that's sort of the progress that I've got so far with them. And speaking of with Bendy's, here we have with our third one, the Ink Demon. This has been an interesting process to do, because I'm trying to like sort of make him this similarly to how I did the first one, but it's definitely changed it up a little bit here and there. I'd say this is about close to 50% done, mostly with the sculpting work, because as you can see, like the overall design of him in general is just about done. The only thing I really have left to do is sculpt out his legs, which I'm still hopping back and forth on how to do it. I have an idea on how I want to make it, but I just need to figure out like how I'm going to build it. I need to do a little bit of work like on his back here and there, but it should be good to go. Well, kind of, but he'll be ready, and he should be ready to go up soon. I'm gonna get him just figuring out some minor stuff. And here's a couple of hair pieces that I'm using like this one I'm gonna be using for Allison, and this one I'm gonna be using for Alice Angel. I was grateful that I was able to find this hairstyle, because I really liked it for my previous two Alice minifigures. So I'm going to be using this one, so I'm glad I had an extra one. It's definitely, they're definitely like a couple of those minifigures that I liked the first versions of it, but I feel that like I can do a little bit better. So I'm definitely looking forward to customizing on with those. I haven't immediately begun doing it, but I am going to be working on with Carly and the Striker, I believe is what her ghost persona is. like ink persona is, but I'm gonna be started working on those characters very soon. Very soon. I've ordered some parts that I'm gonna be using for Henry, I believe also, oh yeah, for Henry with Joey, as well as Wilson. There we go. Sorry, I had a brain fart. But I got some parts ordered in for some of those characters, and I am going to be working on with those. Characters. I'm definitely going to be getting some more yellow paint for these guys, because I definitely like the sort of aesthetic of like the black and yellow sort of vibe going on with that. And I'm definitely planning on remaking my Boris figure. Like especially the head. I didn't really like how the heads in the previous Boris looked like. It was a starting point, but I need to update on that. And I'm debating of whether or not to like just try and sculpt it out on my own, or maybe just use like a goofy minifigure head and sort of use that as a base. We'll figure it out. But that's sort of where Dark Revival is at the moment. I know it's not a whole lot, but a lot of this has just been figuring out that like, okay, how exactly do I make this? But I'm hoping to figure it out like very soon. You know, it's like Wayne would always say, figure it out. Now, sort of a mix in this portion. This is like progress on both Noble Team as well as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So first up with Noble Team, I know I don't have all the figures here because the figures are actually all complete. So all of them are pretty much done. But I haven't begun filming that showcase yet because I'm waiting on one more key component, which is George's gun. So a while ago, I purchased this Mega Bloks rifle that's for George's gun, which suits up pretty well. But I just saw that Brick Tactical posted has been posting some pictures of some of their upcoming sales, and one of them included a new like rendition of George's gun, which I really love. So I'm hoping to get like that gun for that minifigure. If I wind up like missing out on the sale or unable to get it, you could call this as sort of like a backup just in case. And I actually had to push back Noble Team a little bit because I ran into a couple of problems. So first off here, we'll show up like a little bit of Noble 6. I have him out here because, as you can see, he's got some new arms. I decided to remake him a little bit because I ran into a problem with a couple of the figures, specifically with Carter. As I was making him a little while back, I accidentally didn't fully glue on his torso base, and the whole thing was detailed and everything. And like an idiot, I thought that like, oh, I can put this on here and maybe it'll work. Instead, not only did I misalign it, but I was using Crazy Glue, or the Mythical Craggle as like from the Lego Movie. But once I got it on there, it refused to get out, and I attempted to like just pry it off and wound up destroying the whole thing. I was super pissed about it because I had it fully detailed and everything. And the fact that, of course, I had to fuck it up. It's like, I was super mad that day. Thankfully, like, Brick Affliction, I believe, Brick Affliction, they had like some spare Noble Team kits, so I got a new one, fixed up with Carter's torso piece, and he's now good to go. And on the upside, since I had like a bunch of extra stuff from there, I decided to go ahead and give Noble 6 an update on his arms, so he's got like these new shoulder pads and everything, which I think suit out much better, as well as like this red, this like sort of mixed in blood red that I made. And for him, really cool. Only thing that I'm waiting for is it's a couple of small decals that I'm going to be putting on with this figure. So that's another reason why I haven't begun on that showcase yet. So that's all with Noble Team. And over here we can show you that I've also got some stuff I'm working on for Power Rangers. I recently saw the 30th anniversary, which, without spoiling it, it's really good. It's especially made for an older Power Rangers audience. So definitely check it out. If you're a fan of Power Rangers. But some of the stuff that I got over here, I got all these monochrome plain minifigures that I'm going to be using all these as the base bodies for the Rangers. I've also got like some decal torso print stuff like printed out that I'm going to put onto each of their torsos, paint them up, to match it up with on the Ranger suits. I did attempt to make a couple of stuff of my own with like Tommy's dragon shield, as well as like his white tiger torso piece, but it hasn't been working out very well. But I had reached out to Titan King, and he's helping working on some of the stuff for me. With like the helmets, as well as like Tommy's shield here and there, and he's actually almost finished. So I'm really excited to be working on that soon. on that soon. I think it's going to turn out as a really, really cool showcase. Okay, but that's more like the progress on for that one now. Right now, similar scenario, like not a whole lot right now, but I am excited for the final results with them. I think they're going to turn out really, really cool. So that's going to pretty much do it for this update progress on LEGO Arts. I know I haven't been doing some showcases sooner. I'm really sorry about that. But I'm doing like the best that I can with a lot of these figures, and also kind of taking my time, especially making them out like really, really good. That I'm really excited for the final results, especially for God of War and for God of War Ragnarok, as well as Bendy the Dark Revival. I think those will turn out really good. And as I said, with Noble Team, they're pretty much almost done. I just need a couple of minor stuff here and there. And then with Power Rangers, I've just begun on them. Really, and then they'll finally really be complete once their helmets and other little accessories are done. And then I have thought about with like a couple of other stuff to do. Like one idea that I kept bringing up here and there, and that would be to do Ruby Volume 1 through 3. Especially since we've seen like some of the latest stuff with Ruby of like actually seeing their flashbacks in the latest volume, as well as with their upcoming DC crossover event coming up. Most likely not gonna get them done by then, because I would have to get started on that. But I'll probably save those until after I finish up the current roster of overall big projects. Like I said, that I do have ideas for what I want for like episode 148, 149, and 150. 150 will be Ragnarok, 149 would be Bendy, and then 148 would be Noble Team, because I feel like those would be like a good back-to-back. And just currently figuring out with like the other two. Most likely one of them would be Power Rangers, given like my current progress. And then another one, not entirely sure. But rest assured that I am working as best as I can. In the meantime, I'm still keeping up with the Let's Plays. Like I'm still streaming the God of War New Game Plus for Ragnarok, which I've really been enjoying so far. It's really been fun. I've done a little bit back on Sky Children of the Light, but not quite as much. We'll probably fully go back into that after I do Ragnarok, because I do want to put that on my priority. And I will go back to Portal, and a couple of other PC stuff. So right now, I'm mostly just in a place for like just trying to keep up as best I can while still keeping up with the extra art projects. But don't worry, once I figure out with like some of the other showcases, I'll be sure to record and upload videos of that as soon as possible. But if you want to keep up with the progress, you can follow me on Instagram. I'll occasionally like post some stories, as well as like some progress stuff here and there. And yeah, overall that is gonna be it. So if you guys would like to see more of this in the future, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notifications. It really helps us. We'll get less with LEGO products and made a lot of fun. So overall, thank you all so much for watching this video, and see you guys next time in the next video. Goodbye!